Welcome, adventurers, to Probability of Demise, the podcast where critical fumbles meet critical facepalms. Join us as we delve into the darkest dungeons, slay the stupidest gremlins, and roll enough ones to make a beholder weep. Forget epic storylines and heroic deeds. Here we celebrate the chaotic beauty of bad rolls, questionable decisions, and characters with more charisma than sense. We'll be your dungeon masters of disappointment, guiding you through campaigns where the only guaranteed treasure is a mountain of laughter, and maybe some psychic scarring. So grab your Nat 1 dice, strap on your anxiety helmets, and prepare to witness the glorious train wreck that is our D&D journey. Because, in the end, even if your character dies face first into a pile of pudding, at least you'll have the dice god's permission to laugh your ass off. Tingle tangle, vingle dangle, tingle dan, all the things. Check us out.
I like how our intro just evolved into Rourke screaming nonsense words into the void.
Check us out at probabilityofdemise.com. Buy our merch. That makes us happy. Also, it feeds us. We literally live for the moments where you actually click like. That's like I get to eat an M&M for every like we get. And that's all I get to eat for years. All right.
One.
For the cost of just one M&M a day,
sometimes
you can feed this DM.
Sometimes you have to split it 4 ways, so then everybody gets like an N instead of an M, because that, split an M 4 ways and you only get an N each.
I don't think that's true.
Do the font math.
I get it. No, I got it.
It took me a second. I was like, M. Oh.
N-N-N-N-M-N-N-M-E.
Oh my gosh.
No.
I am so happy to be here, but it is time for the most magical moment of all, which is our
Word of the day.
I love that Jess is like, it's me.
It's me.
All right. Okay. Brave dungeon dwellers. Welcome to Word of the Day. Today we will be once again rolling our magical D100 to see what magical and whimsical words we will get. So let's do it. I already rolled. I rolled a 37.
Ooh.
And that word of the day is jocund. Used in a sentence. Where'd my sentence go? Oh. It was a jocund wedding party.
Wait, did you say what it means?
No. I skipped that part. So, that's how you would use it in, a sentence. And if you use your, elementary school, deciphering sentences, you might know that jocund means cheerful and lighthearted. There you go.
Thank you, elementary school. Our intrepid crew last time, still reeling from the exploding house escapade, dashed to save Seraphina's father via a carpet ride. But here's the shocker. That fancy temple that Seraphina was seeking out, well, it was bricked up and surrounded by a grumpy mob, not exactly the welcoming committee that she was hoping for. Meanwhile, Alua, our resident hug dispenser, a.k.a. Comshare, hightailed it back to Support HQ, the Sincere House. And it turns out even cuddles can't shield you from everything because she found out she got a nasty bug. Back with Seraphina and Gus, things take a turn for the worse. It turns out that house explosions aren't just exciting pyrotechnics. Alua returns and shares that they've all been infected with the yucky weave-worn disease. Luckily, their near-death experience and major exhaustion, aka spells being toasty, put a temporary hold on the magical ick. Good news, right? Sort of. Dad, Seraphina, unfortunately wasn't so lucky. And there's more. Remember that suspicious wyvern's venom that Seraphina's dad had been using to deal with the situation? Well, that magical Band-Aid slowed things down. But yikes, it's pretty bad for you too. So double whammy there. The city's in a bit of a mess. There's a drug epidemic, apparently. There's a potential weave-worn outbreak in the brewing. And just things couldn't get any more chaotic. You head down to pay the bill, because of course there's always a bill. And you bump into Sticky Beak and a kid from the crowds with a familiar looking tattoo on their hand. Welcome back, Probability of Demise.
I'm so confused.
Well, Lua recognizes the tattoo,
I do?
but Larissa apparently doesn't. If you would like to take a step in memory lane, I'll walk
Can Larissa roll a history?
I will walk Larissa back a bit. When we first started this campaign, Larissa was given a note, and the only glimpse she got of the giver of said note was their hand as they leapt from the building, and they caught sight of that tattoo. And that was the person who delivered the transcription of Sticky Beak's note to come down to the theater.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
Is this the
there,
same
that
kid that was walking up as Gus and Allure were walking away to go to Seraphina's house 2 episodes
yes,
ago?
indeed, that as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I remember that more recently, but I did not remember that they had a tattoo on their hand in the beginning. So my bad. I'm sorry.
All right, so here
Please forgive me.
you see Sticky Beak and the young messenger kid at the actually they're standing where you were headed, the place to pay for services rendered.
Sticky Beak. Hello, friend. Thank you for coming.
I'm covering the bill. Anything else that needs to be covered?
Oh, that's amazing. We're definitely strained for resources right now. We've had a bit
Well-
of a day.
Oh, you of course don't have to worry about, my dad. I don't know if you were going to, but I'll take care of him, hopefully.
Oh, well, I covered treatment for 4 individuals, 3 women and a man. That's all I've covered so far. Nothing else is.
Women and a man. Oh, okay.
We've discovered that Seraphina's father is. Do you remember Wyvern's venom
Oh,
many years ago?
that's an old one.
It's a new
Thought that
one.
fell out of favor.
It's a new one again. It's come back.
Oh,
And
what
it's
comes
being-
around goes around.
It's being given as a cure for at least for a disease apparently from factory workers from one of Seraphina's father's old jobs. At least for that, but it's being sold illegally as a cure-all for, I assume, for many things by the temple, the Ascendant Temple down the street.
Ah, the one that I just gained any gestures to the kid that's with him. Word that is shuddering itself and
Good.
about to be demolished because there is an angry mob of folk who can't get
Excellent.
access to things.
I can't imagine why they're angry.
It's always a mystery what happens in life.
I don't know. I think there's probably a legal situation that needs to come about. I have to check in with my lawyer anyway. I can ask Slim about your father if you'd like. Perhaps there's some sort of way to get the factory to pay for his treatment.
I don't know if a closed factory could do that, but would it?
Those companies
it's worth
are
a
always
shot.
still around in some form. Whoever owned the factory, I'm sure, owns something else now.
Right.
Anyway, yes, thank you for bailing us out, so to speak.
What else do you need? Are you okay? You kind of like peering at you all very inquisitively.
Yeah. Well, so the detailed version is Seraphina's house was made of materials from the factory that her father was allowed to bring home. And when it was destroyed today, we all inhaled dust that gave us weave-worn syndrome. And we just had to get that
so
cured.
everyone around there should probably get checked too.
Yeah, we have to check in with the emergency management team and very soon.
Oh, well, is that what you're off to do now?
Perhaps we could send your messenger here with a message for them.
Hi. Yes, they're a spry young one.
Good. I'm the opposite of spry young one these days.
Oh, they're not mine. They're with the Sincere House. Sent to me by... And he looks at you, Alua. A hornet's nest has been kicked, apparently. Your friend, and he's like trying to decide how much he should say and shouldn't say, lets me know that a lot of requests have come in for the comb share. A lot of government visits. Just within the last short bit of time. Within the last hour or two.
Should we be advising our sisters to turn down these requests?
I believe your friend was entertaining it as opportunities abounding.
I suppose.
She offered quite an incentive. I may have to take her up on some of the purchases she would like to make, and I was curious if you three have any inquiries that might be pursued through the same vein.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Gus, roll an insight check.
That's a natural 1.
Yep, you definitely have no idea. These two are speaking in code.
Might as well be thieves can't.
It might actually be thieves can't, except Gus might actually know thieves can't, but no. This is beyond that. This is Comshir can't.
Basically, we have the opportunity to get more information if needed. So our dear friend here is saying if there's anything in particular that we would like to investigate that is, related to anybody higher up in the government, perhaps corrupt.
They're trying to take my house. That's related to the government. I don't know if it's related to anything else that we're doing.
Why are they trying to... on what grounds?
They want to build a floating island they want to tear it from the ground. And my property and the properties around me. Mm-hmm. I got a fine 4,000 gold for something, and something is all very suspect. I brought it to a lawyer. I have to check in with them and see what's happening, but we've been a little busy. Sticky Beak, we turned over some new leaves on Seraphina's brother. He was last seen at the Ascendant Temple that is now being shuttered down the street, and I suspect that they either grabbed him or worse when he left there for some reason. I'm not sure if it would be for he threatened to expose them, non-payment, whatever reason, I'm not sure. They followed me after I made inquiries and killed me and destroyed Seraphina's house.
And that's how we got sick.
Yeah, that's the rest of that story.
Wasn't it just this morning that you all came to rescue me from my office?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm very tired.
Yes?
I would like to
It
sleep.
was yesterday, I think.
Oh, I was underground, so time flies, but sounds like you all need a break.
Perhaps.
Just like to go to sleep for like a night.
Well, evening beckons, and I have a ride.
Let's as we think about what we can suss out from these government officials, maybe we could, or this about ascendants and government officials, I assume. Let's add the killing of your Nightingale to the list. We know likely who perpetrated it, but we don't know who put them up to it for sure. So that's not, it's solved, but it's not solved.
So I'm just writing out a list here. Your sisterhood might be, and he's looking at Alua, finding out a lot of loose threads for us. We'll have to decide which one to follow up on in the morning. All right. Well, I made a deal with the Rat King and can at least provide you a place to sleep. Or you should go to your homes and, well, Seraphina, I apologize.
I was going to say, sensitive subject. Although I do actually have a place for that we can put you and your mother and father once he's done being healed up.
Well, I'll just stay here for the night. And we can figure out nights later.
I
Well, they
will
did
warn
say,
you, Jess, if you stay at the hospital, you will not get a full night's rest.
They did say that less people around is better, so maybe you should go with Alua and stay at Sincere House, or come with me, or go to the new place.
Okay, I'll go with Alua, but I just need to talk to my mom before I leave.
Is my lawyer still open, Rick?
You could always swing by.
Yeah, my plan will be to go stop at the lawyer and then go home.
Okay. So you're headed off to home on your own. Seraphina, you're going to go check in with your mother. And Alua, you're
Casting mage armor on myself all the way, just in case.
Alua, you're patiently waiting for Seraphina to... All right. So Seraphina, let's start with you.
Okay. And Alua, like you could always come with me. You don't have to you don't have to wait out here.
Okay.
So I want to go to my mom and just check in with her and go, I'm going to go with Alua to rest. Are you, what? You should probably rest as well. Do you need to find somewhere to sleep other than here?
I don't know what to do with myself. I'm fairly certain I'm fired. And
Well,
we have
jobs
no place
we'll
to
figure
live
out later.
yet, so
Out of curiosity, why would you be fired?
I work shifts, and if you don't show, you don't get paid. If you're not they're casting. And unfortunately, unskilled work like what I can do is easily replaced. I miss the days when Seraphina's father was able to. I mean, he was an advanced mage and able to earn for our family in ways that I can't. And the expenses of the medical bills, the rent for my son's office, and the house wasn't ours. I wasn't sure I was going to make our next lease payment as it was.
Well, I have a temporary space for you to land, and then we'll figure it out from there.
Well, if I can just recover a little bit, I'll get going again and make my next shift before it's too late for that job, and then I'll make the I think I can make second shift, but that third shift job is gone now.
Well, Alua, can she come with us to sleep for the night?
Of course.
Oh, I don't want to leave your father alone here.
Well, he's not alone. You know, everyone here is going to help them, and if they need anything,
That's
they'll
not how
contact
these
us.
places work, my dear.
Okay, well then you go rest. I will stay here.
No,
Because you need a rest for your job. So you go rest.
I don't
I'll
need
stay
to
here.
rest from my job. But it sounds like you need to.
No,
And it looks like you're making headway that I would never make.
I
I
just
didn't
looked to
realize you
Alua
were
like,
doing so well with your investigations and inventions. I'm proud of you.
thanks. I still think you should go rest.
Yeah, well, I haven't rested in quite a while. Go on.
Okay. I'll start to leave with Alua and do like one of those like look back things.
She kind of just puts her head down next to her husband's head and kisses him on the side of his temple. And then just, it's been a long time since she's had time to be with her husband. But it's also been a long time since she had any hope of anything coming around in this way. And it seems like she's a lot more content than she had been in the past. Exhausted. But a little bit of that weariness seems to have lifted. All right, so you two head down to, Sticky Beak would still be waiting for you if you wanted the ride.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you didn't mind waiting just that couple of minutes.
No. Yeah, you go out and there's a strange shaped cart looking thing, and boarding it, you can feel, even as exhausted as you are, the magic build along the lines of it, and suddenly it dives underground and you're in a dowser's cart. It's a seemingly ordinary cart pulled by a spectral digging creature that uses the magical ley lines to navigate underground. And while to anyone looking, there doesn't appear to be any disturbance in the soil, you feel like you're watching and being dragged along, just as if there was a little action cam attached to a earthworm, and you're within half an hour or so delivered to the Sincere House, unless you were trying to get to the correct side crowds, in which case you'd be dropped off at one of the lower entrances, or one of the lower up and downs. Elevators. A lift to the correct side crowds. So whichever way you think, Ulua, that would go. Sincere House or Shelly Seashells by the Seashore.
Cecil's.
Seashells, Shundries, and I can't do it.
Actually, it's Celia. That's right. I originally had her named Cecil, but it's Celia. Because I didn't want to be quite that mean.
Cecil Seashells.
Cecil's seashells.
Celia's Seashells and Sundries.
Yeah.
By Cecil.
Yep. On Cecil Street. No, definitely Sincere House.
Okay. So I'll let that. Well, just if the two of you need to go into deep space with that, that's fine. But I think the two of you make your way there. Switching over to Gus. Gus.
Okay, so before I leave, I'm going to write a note for my new friend over in emergency management, because I have her card and her info.
Yes.
Have that kid run it to her, if you will. And then I'm going to go to the lawyer.
All right. Yeah, the young individual takes off into the looming twilight. It's not quite
The note will
twilight.
basically be like, talking about the Weeborn stuff, and then be like, and obviously, since what's Seraphina's last name? Does she have one? Does you have like a family name?
Me?
Yeah.
Tahir.
Me? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, obviously, the Tahir family leases that home, so they shouldn't be held responsible for the injury that was spread to the neighborhood, and it should be the landlord that has to pay for all of the medical treatment for the neighbors. Like, that's my advice in the letter that I send.
Okay. And you get to your lawyer.
Sneaky. Okay, I'm gonna knock on the door because I don't know. I feel like it's not even that late. We just had a shitty day, but it's probably like 4 o'clock or something. Like, it's not even. So I'm just gonna knock on the door and then try to go in if it's open.
Yeah, you knock and then the door just creaks open as you knock.
Okay, and I'm just gonna go up to the desk and tell them that I inquired a couple of days ago about my property and blah 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 blah, and just wanted to see if there's any updates.
It's the equivalent of a paralegal who comes up to you, and they bring out a stack of folders full of sheets of information. Well, it looks like they're trying to claim the whole woods for another floating island.
Just what this city needs, another floating island.
Yeah. You're not the only person who's come in with this. A couple of your neighbors came in. The others must have or not have access to legal advice. But
would you like me to, if I see any that have not sought counsel, to send them your way?
Oh, certainly. Yeah. The more we can gather, the better we might be able to put together a case for this. But they filed all the correct paperwork. I did have one thought for you. You might try to recruit the local council from Sylvan Heights. You told me that you live in a treed area, as close as Overton has to untapped, untouched wilderness, right?
Yes, I'd say so.
There might be a chance that if you could get those lunatics on your side, they would keep them from raising a forest almost for anything. They,
Good idea.
yeah, it's too bad the Pirate Queen isn't still around. I'm pretty sure we could rally anybody with one of those score-ins. And he just laughs at the old joke.
Yes. Favorite stories of mine when I was a child.
Oh, yeah. They wrote picture books about her. I think even her friend Asher, which one of the most popular children's books.
I forgot that I said Asher's most famous book was a book about Trixie. Oh, that's funny. Do you think I need to be immediately worried about being displaced, or do I have some time?
Well, I put in a note to the owners of the smokestacks about this plan. And that conglomerate of factories is probably going to push up against this for a while. They deal mostly with food production, and they might be concerned that what would be developed underneath after the repossession. So that should give us a solid week or two before anything comes of it, before bribes are paid and whatnot. I also put in a note to a group that operates, well, let's just say that there are folks who have some concerns and they'll place a little bit of chaos. So I give it 2 weeks before you have to worry about anything more operational happening here.
All right. One last unrelated question. Are you hiring for any sort of cleaning staff or receptionist, any kind of work like that? I have a friend who's in need of employment, like something more stable than the 3 jobs she's currently working. Something that would pay a living wage.
Roll a persuasion check.
Come on. Okay. No, I'm using my last inspiration. Yes. 18.
18. Yeah, it's. I think we could consider. We do have a need right now. Not cleaning, but if this person has any skills in organization, our magical contracts department has gotten quite the bit of overflow.
Okay. So
This person's amazing and could do anything you needed.
You're not there, Turkey.
I'm just saying, through the void.
Sure. The sudden open telepathic connection that we always have.
Yeah.
Yeah, all 3 of you are constantly just mentally connected at this point. Sticky beaks in on it too, but just smirks all the time through the connection.
That's why I was like this
their
instead of saying, I really wish I could cast inspiration right now.
All right. I'll be like, that would be amazing. I'll I assume that Gus knows Seraphina's mother's name. I don't. Gus,
Nobody's shared it. Nobody's asked for it. It's been Seraphina's mom, Seraphina's dad, and I've been very careful. I don't even know if Jess has decided on those names. But she might have. I can't remember right now. But
I'll just be like, her surname is Tahir, and I will send her over as soon as I can. She's dealing with her husband's currently at the Mending Moonstone.
Mending Moonstone.
Mending, yeah. And so she might need a day or two before she can stop by.
All right. Well,
I appreciate that.
We're going to shutter our shop pretty soon. Possible series of lawsuits going to happen with the closing of one of the ascended temples. I don't know if you heard.
I did. I was in the neighborhood today. I saw
The
what
news
was
he's ran
happening.
through recently, and it sounds like, well, at any rate, I want to get down there now, and you can see the what would be our version of an ambulance chaser mode kicking in as he's like, see who I can.
Actually, I have a case for you. Same person, Mrs. Tahir, her husband, has been treated illegally with wyvern's venom, which was a very old drug problem on the street when I was coming up in the City Watch, and there are doctors prescribing it illegally now for a variety of illnesses, and there's probably a class action suit against multiple doctors in the city somewhere in there. I'm sure she can fill you in with the details when she comes in.
Interesting. So I have a lot of appointments tonight suddenly. My books are full.
And it's that specific temple is where the doctor worked that prescribed to her.
Oh, so not only are you providing me with a possible employee, but you have inside information on the place I am going to. Well,
Just remember this if an opportunity comes up to save my house. But
I'm just going to
priority
suggest
is my
that
friends.
you don't have to worry about your fees with me if this turns out well.
That's good because I died this morning and I have zero money. I was resurrected and it was very expensive. It's been a day.
Don't tell a money grubbing lawyer this type of thing in the future. Just
I have a pension. There'll be more money soon. It's just this morning my pockets are empty.
It's always nice to work with those of you on a fixed income, steady stream, if minor.
Anyway, thank you for your assistance. I'll be in touch about the house, and
Of course.
let me know if we can help with the investigations regarding the drug. The temple.
Absolutely.
I'm already sort of involved in it, so why not? All right, and I'm just gonna go home and hope that my bed is waiting undisturbed for me to just take a freaking nap for the whole night.
Yes, not for the whole night. Yeah, you make it home. You see your door, and on your door is an envelope.
I will take the envelope and open whatever the latest threat is from the Ascended or whatever.
It jingles merrily, and it's what you have been waiting for. Your pension has arrived.
Oh, hooray!
Yay, money!
It's not exactly the most thrilling of things because as you open it, you see 20 gold and a form with all the various deductions that had occurred as per tax paperwork.
No taxes.
Fees. If you truly could live out in the middle of the wilderness and not deal with Overton's insanity whatsoever, you would have been bringing in 40 gold coins a month. But as it is, 20 is quite well for most former members of the Watch. You know, there
Also,
are those such as...
I just need paint and snacks. That's all I really.
Yeah, I mean, when
expensive medical treatment.
It's very rare for a retiree to need all of the expensive things that goes on with an adventurer's lifestyle.
Okay.
Or an investigator who is active and not supported by the constabulary.
So I'm going to lay down and then I'm going to get up and then I'm going to paint just like sort of half in a trance, almost like paint a tower made of like twisting like golden trees. And then I'm going to go to bed with like almost no memory of doing it.
Okay. Can you roll a performance check? You do have inspiration for this. I can't tell you how it works exactly, but it's a D8 that you can roll in addition.
Sure, what the hell? 21.
Yeah, when you look at this next and vague recollection or not, it is truly a masterpiece of your art. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to say when I look at it, when I'm done, I feel very jocund about it.
Do that.
I don't
Ulua,
know if that's. I feel like it's a very jocund painting. Jocund painting.
nice. Add the inspiration, you twerp.
You know, we were just going to forget. I'm just going to knock it out.
Yeah. Serafina and Ulua, you have a full night's rest as well. So everybody is long
Yes.
rested.
Oh, longest day ever.
It was a day.
You all had a lovely day. You wake up. The morning is morning. The sun is the sun.
Today's the day. The tank is clean. Sorry.
Oh no, the tank is clean.
I feel like
So, question. Very, very important question that needs to be addressed. Where is Serafina sleeping in comparison to Alua?
where is Serafina sleeping in comparison to Ulua?
What would
Yes.
have been the options?
Same as before.
The couch is available now because Gus isn't there.
She would have started in the bed, got too excited, moved to the couch saying that she just wanted to make sure that Alua had enough room and that, she could sprawl out in her bed as she so chose, and I would go to the couch. Just all the blushing happening.
And then while
That was very important and needed to be addressed.
okay. All right.
Extra, Tipple Healer slammed as bogus by angry mob. Mildred Buttercup says they never helped my gout once. Local house prices plummeting, possibly after mysterious explosion rocks neighborhood. Finally, maybe I can afford a decent fixer-upper, says Bartholomew Bigglesworth. Warning from the Comshare Union. Snuggle's not effective against magical space aids. Warning from the Health Ministry. Wyvern venom, the cure that's worse than the weave worm.
Magical
Extra,
space aids?
Craigside crowds deny gang involvement in shady back alley tattoo parlors. Those are just artistic expression markings, folks. Nothing to see here.
And thus the daily news reaches your ears.
Jason's trying to reset his camera.
I know.
Serafina hears none of it. She's like half on, half off the couch, just snoring. Hair all in horns everywhere.
I am going to go downstairs and make a tray with some coffee, some juice, and some sort of carb. Bring it back up with 2 cups of everything and 2 portions.
Yeah. A delicious, what do you call it? Continental breakfast sort of thing going on.
More or less.
Elevated continental, maybe. What's going on in the Gus house?
No, I'm
Still
just kidding.
sleeping.
No, I think Gus is probably an early riser. So he's like looking at his glorious happy painting and try to figure out where the fuck that came from.
Happy paintings, happy trees.
And then he's just gonna like hoof it back for town because he knows they have stuff to do probably. So, trying to think if there's any way that I can get this poor guy some more money besides his little pension check. Like looking through my stuff, like, can I sell something?
I mean, y'all just had a major expense with that whole bring him back to life thing, so these things happen.
These things do happen.
Maybe I should go to the council and
Yes,
tell them that.
these things
Actually, I would like to swing by
does happen.
the council of Sylvan Heights on my way back in.
Okay. Yeah. You, from your investigator days, probably even know where it's located, so that's not a problem at all. You're an old hand at this city. This is not a city where you, at least in terms of things that are on the ground, very little has escaped your notice. Underton even more so, probably.
Generally speaking, roll above 10.
Yeah. So you get to the council's chambers at the center of the Sylvan Heights. It is one of the few buildings that is on the forest floor. It's almost like a false forest in some ways because these trees just do not seem real. They aren't paintable, not like your gorgeous trees that you can see. Trees are so tall and gargantuan and tightly entwined with each other that it's sometimes difficult to tell where one starts and another ends. And they seem to extend up above you like skyscrapers in a modern city. But you make your way to the council chambers of the Sylvan Heights.
Okay. I could just like go in and talk to the council, or is there like a receptionist or?
There's a receptionist. It does not appear that there's any council in session, but there is a receptionist who looks a little old. Their tail is twitching.
Old but still younger than me. Like, hello there. Friend.
Hi.
Good morning.
Morning. What can we do for you?
I was hoping to get some help. The Hollow Council is trying to seize the forest that I live in and turn it into a floating island. And my lawyer suggested that perhaps you could help me.
Because I don't want that to happen.
Wow, that's interesting. Where exactly do you live?
Do you have a map? I can show you exactly. Look over to the map.
Well, I have our neighborhood, and then it's a little messier from there. Mostly the hiking trails outside of Sylvan Heights. You know, our folk like to get out into a little less densely populated. And as he kind of sits there and starts unfolding this brochure, you can see highlighted very clearly the Sylvan Heights. It is like a Chamber of Commerce style thing, but then you can see slightly faded and less detailed literally everywhere that you live. And there's all these trails marked out. And you can see that there's some marked out that go right by your home. And you realize that like they travel and they're probably actually involved in the upkeep of the pathways and ways to get to your own house.
Like, well, it turns out I live right here. I'm just gonna put my finger on it.
Oh, they would, but this is part of the extended reserve. They can't do this.
Good. Do you think you can stop them? Because I would really like to not have my house destroyed.
Oh, we can definitely fight this. What sort of ridiculousness do they think they're getting up to? And this individual stands up and says, I'm going to go have to have a talk with people.
Awesome. I'm gonna write down like my lawyer's information. Like, here's my lawyer. If you wanted to collaborate with them at all, I'm sure they'd be willing to help. Also, Here's some neighbors of mine. I'll write down some names.
And who did you said the Hollow Council was pushing this? Do you have the original?
I do. I'll reach into my bag of holding and find the letter.
As they open up the letter, you see their face fall a bit. Oh. Oh, this might be harder than I thought.
I've been hearing that a lot. My lawyer says everything is technically perfectly legal.
Yes, everything here is technically perfectly legal. Do you know who's behind this?
I do not.
I don't think this is just the Hollow Council.
I'm sure there's some ascended fuckery involved.
Somebody's child reached their majority and they need their own house. Well, and they start to look like they're going to start backtracking a bit. Do you say anything as they start to look like they're...
Worst thing we can do is try, right? I mean, maybe we'll lose, but we won't know if we can beat them if we don't try.
No, we won't beat them. Yeah, go ahead and make a...
I'd be like, well, think about, I mean, it'd be unfortunate to have to move, but think of the trees, all the lovely walking paths that would be ripped from the ground. What an atrocity that would be.
Roll a persuasion check. Is there a... I'm trying to remember what other options there are. I feel like this might be slightly different than a persuasion check.
Doesn't matter. I got a 4.
Not a 4.
So that's like an 8 for persuasion, unless you got something else. Nature.
I don't see anything that would work for this. I feel like isn't there like a diploma? I'm thinking of other systems, like diplomacy check, inspiration check.
I guess it's clear, even as I'm saying it, that I don't even believe it. That I can beat them. This is the guy who was drummed off the force for trying to do the right thing many years ago.
There's this moment of mutual sorrow that passes across their face, and he says, well, I'll add it to the docket for the next council meeting.
When is that meeting?
It should be the next day or so.
Okay. If you need me there, let me know.
Yeah.
You know where to find me. It's right there. I point at the map again.
It's like there's now like a little indentation on the map because it was a pristine brochure, and yeah. I'm sorry.
Well, what can you do?
Kind of sits back in the chair, having gotten up in excitement originally.
Don't suppose you know anyone that would move a house for free?
Yeah. You might check in with... a bunch of people in the Ether Weaveries just got laid off. You might check in with some of them. I hear that most of the unemployed from that area end up gathering around the Skyway Strip looking for new work. I'm sorry. Where do you think you'd move to?
I don't know. Maybe further out. Once you get outside the boundaries of the city, I think it gets a little wilder, but maybe more peaceful. Who knows?
Yeah, as long as you can fend off some of the creatures roaming about. All right, well,
Nice
good luck to you.
Thank you for your help.
He holds out his hand to shake your hand, and He just looks really like the level of sorrow for you is very evident on their face.
I'm sorry you have to reprint all your brochures eventually.
Yeah, this is gonna. I'll try, but
That's all I can ask.
you head on your way.
I'll stop and take a selfie with a statue of Trixie in the yard.
It's been graffitied recently with.
It takes 4 hours because I have to paint the selfie.
Yeah. It's around noon. Gus arrives at.
No, I'm just kidding. I'll go from there. The other thing I can think of is having it declared a Tanzanite religion holy site because Tanzanite approves me being raised from the dead, which she doesn't do very often. But I won't do that for now. Yeah, so I'll just go to Sincere House after that.
All right.
I'm not going to do any more investigations on my own. We found out what happens.
All right, Alua, Serafina. You've eaten breakfast. Serafina, I think you've tried to eat breakfast.
As we're sitting there, I'm going to pen out a letter to.
Dear Sticky Bee.
No.
Dear Sticky Bee. In this week's letter, no deaths.
To Sir Gregor, actually.
Okay.
Basically kind of explaining the concern about the materials being used to build houses from that particular factory, creating an epidemic within the communities, like the working class, and also the heads up about the wyvern venom returning or making a comeback. And I mean, I don't know how much faith he puts into what the newsies are shouting, because babies can be born with 3 heads and all this, but
with 3 heads.
Snake oil salesman strike. Wait.
yeah,
Snake oil salesman strikes again. Wyvern venom, latest fad.
yeah. But to reiterate that is indeed a thing, and it should be taken very seriously, and that if he has any questions, to let me know.
Awesome. Do you need me to review some of the things that you had up in the air, or are you all gathering together and...
You're probably wondering why I've got a joy here today.
Yeah. I think we should get back together, figure out what we're doing.
You're there.
Knock, knock, knock.
Who's there?
It's me. It's me, Gush.
Oh.
Hello.
Gashoo.
Oh.
Gashundan Schniffel. Famed detective.
I love it.
Yeah. So the 3 of you are gathered back together. Oksana has headed out for the day. There was a lot of traffic all night long as various comshare headed out. And Oksana seems to be going off to deliver some information. But she says she'll be back in a little bit.
Okay, let's see. What are we still working on?
All right.
I mean, we still have to figure out our our, I guess, priority investigation pertaining a certain merchant?
Well, first, Serafina, I found your mother a job at my lawyer's office. If she's good at organizing, they have some like filing work to be done.
I mean, that's amazing. Yeah. Yes. We can definitely let her know, and get the two
They'll also
acquainted.
want to know. I think they'll probably be willing to represent her in a case against the temple. And the doctor.
Oh my god.
I spoke to them a little last night, and they were already looking into it. I caught them just as they were getting started, so it was good timing. But also, I think they're willing to put her to work, and maybe so she won't have to work 3 jobs.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Beyond that, I think I did offer hopefully it's okay, I offered our services if they need us to investigate anything related to that. They might also pick up, after speaking to your mother, they might also be willing to look into the factory at the housing materials and all of that. They're like a good class action suit, so I think they'll be more than willing to help your mother out in exchange for what she can provide them, I'm sure, for background on these cases. But, yeah. So hopefully that'll give her some more time with your dad as he recovers.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Not necessary, but you're welcome. It seems like they've had a rough time of it and deserve a break. So, for us, I suppose
There's a certain we should be investigating, no?
a certain what?
Certain
Remember, we're a
person passing
podcast.
away. I know. I was getting there.
Right. Well, yeah, we have that message, so I suppose we should go from there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the bat messages. Hang on, I have to pull them up.
Yeah, you're the one that found the message. I don't know what it says. I don't know if you ever told us.
I don't
There's a
think
lot
she
of
told
them.
you anything yet, and it cracks me up because it's like
We didn't really have a chance. It was just
blame
There was a lot
the
of, that's when the next
DMs,
murdering
GMs.
happened.
no.
Eric. They had to stop
That's
and
not what
murder
I'm
some
saying.
people while I played with the bat upstairs. You guys have murdered so much more recently than me. I'm just saying.
I like to murder.
I did push a guy off a roof, but he didn't die. Serafina
I'm
killed
sorry.
him later.
Would you have liked to have not been resurrected? Goodness. Ungrateful.
I'm only good
Okay.
at getting murdered the last couple weeks.
All right, I'm gonna send this to y'all. Do I have a?
So the three of you are gathering around these messages that Alua is looking at and the notes that she made as she kind of came to conclusions about how they've been decoded.
Should I read all these again for the kids at home?
I can read them while you all consider the messages.
Sure.
And I'll actually provide a little bit of the clue deduction because Alua did roll successfully to get to that deductive point to have this information. But it's a series of brief messages and the possible interpretation of the code. So the message from Barry the Beef Wellington said, just send the package, hope it's not too rare. And the deduction being that the reference to meat indicates that it's a package of something unusual or possibly illegal. The Philomena Fingers Finch lost my touch with the whole thing, need a new fence. Something about losing skill, and a fence might be that this is the trade in illegal goods, and that might actually be possibly connected to the other ones. Any of these could be interconnected. Chester Click Clackworthy, they're meeting in the Old Salty Dog tonight, heard whispers of a high tide operation. This could be something to do with smuggling, probably a ship-based smuggling situation. Vivian the Voice Nightingale, and this one sticks out a bit just due to the name. Someone's been singing like a canary, gotta find a new tune before I get caged. And this one is much more clear that there's some sort of imprisonment, or possibly now the expansion of that idea to death, killing off the nightingale. Bartholomew Bookworm Barnes, the librarian, look for the book with the missing page. It holds the key to the forgotten chapter. So talking about maybe some book, or maybe something with hidden information. The penny pincher, similar to the Finch one, saying the cost is too steep, might have to find a cheaper way out. Talking about possibly getting involved in a risk. Reginald Spectacles, everything seems a little fuzzy. You need someone with a sharper eye to take a look. Some sort of puzzle or situation that needs to be solved. And then Beatrice Buzz Bumble, the beekeeper. The hive is stirring. Something big is about to sting. Something about unrest or danger that might actually legitimately be what all has transpired. And then Mortimer the Magnificent Macaroni. Trick is all about sleight of hand. Look past the illusion to find the truth. Something about there being something deceptive, illusory, and implies a hidden reality. This one is written on slightly different paper, fancier paper.
I'd like to detect magic on the last one.
Awesome. You cast Detect Magic, or you sink into your Detect Magic state with your...
Second sight. Whatever.
It is not as it seems, because the moment you cast Detect Magic, I would love for you to roll an intelligence saving throw.
Woo!
I'm not a smart man. Fuck, it's a 9. Wait, I have inspiration. Goodbye. Still a 9. Why do I even try?
You are the only person I know that rolls so many of the same number in a row.
No, I rolled lower, so it was still
Your Detect Magic strips away an illusion, but you're unable to pierce what is left behind. It seems a bunch of squiggly lines that are constantly in motion. But to you, Gus, the illusion of the original message with the trick is all about sleight of hand, to look past the illusion to find the truth, fades away. But what you see instead is a bunch of squiggles that make no sense.
There's a hidden message here, but I can't read it.
Can you write it down and maybe one of us can read it?
I could try. Can I do that? Would I just write down a bunch of squiggles?
They seem to be in motion, but you go ahead and we'll have you try your best. Let's have you do a performance check. It's in your zone.
$19? Where were you before?
Okay, you see this pile of squiggly lines, Olua and Serafina. Would either of you like to try to understand it better? Serafina, what are you trying to do to understand it better?
I want to do something. I want to just put down all my goggle bits and hopefully do a perception check with my, specifically using my goggles for my eyes of the eagle. Because I get a +1, or I mean a advantage on perception rolls.
Okay,
Does
so
that make sense?
this is trying to figure out something that's
Red.
visible in front of you. I'm trying that Gus just
So it'd
wrote
be
down.
more of a more.
So I'm trying to go with what you're thinking here. It's like you wanted to like really look closely at it. Uber closely. Go ahead and roll the
Okay.
perception check
Okay.
with those bonuses you described. I'm trying to figure out how this is going to fit in. The math thing is hard.
I could do something else. I could.
No. Do what you choose to do. I will see how useful it is.
23.
Okay, so you're staring at this message, and it's just all these squiggles. It's like a bowl of alphabet soup after a particularly enthusiastic toddler has been smashing apart the letters. And just as you're about to just give up and splash your head first into that bowl of soup, or in this case, crumple the parchment in defeat, you kind of feel this wave of dizziness and the room seems to tilt. And as you're looking at it with your eagle eye, the symbols on the page seem to be warp and stretch. And you realize that this isn't a visual puzzle. It's sound.
It's a sound puzzle. So I say that out loud. I go, "It's a puzzle with sound." I want to look at the piece of paper and go, "Ah!"
Roll a performance check with disadvantage.
Let's see. Copy. Performance with disadvantage. Oh, it's gonna be amazing. Yeah, it's not bad. +2, 14, 15, 16.
With disadvantage. Yikes. That's impressive.
Alua, could you roll a perception check as the one most likely to be able to interpret this wild wailing that...
Perception?
Yeah.
Six.
Okay, and I
You
try to
have to just
interpret
start somewhere with a puzzle. You can't just, automatically know what's happening. So you just try things.
You jinxed me. You said I was rolling high. That's the next
So-
thing I rolled.
A strange squealing noise emerges from Seraphina. And Alua, you listen to it and you're not quite picking up the tune here. Gus, could you roll a investigation check?
Investigate.
it. Investigation.
The only thing left for you.
24.
Holy crap, Ola. Gus, you see Alua's puzzled face. You see Seraphina's whatever audio that was. And it somehow triggers a reminder to you that this all started investigating a singer who was murdered. And there was a line that was to be sung, but nobody sang it. None of you sung it, but that the nightingale, the dead woman, had sung something each night that wasn't part of the script. And you in this moment, you recall that there was this line of some sort that she sang, and the stage manager had told you this, but none of you had ended up investigating it because you ended up solving other parts of the struggles
Does
that you were
anybody
facing.
have the fortune cookie from the crime scene?
The fortune cookie.
One of you, I think, has it or took it.
Didn't you?
Did I? I don't know. I would like to dig in my bag and see if there's a fortune cookie in it.
I took the book. I took the book from that was
The
from
accounting
upstairs.
ledger of gambling stuff.
I feel like I
Serafina took
might
the
have
rat.
asked someone to grab it, but I don't remember for sure.
Yeah, I vaguely feel like
Did I ask you to grab
have
it? Yeah, I think I asked you to grab it
Let me check.
because the body was gone, but the fortune cookie was still laying there.
Yeah.
We're like,
think I
finally,
have
10 fucking episodes. Nobody remembers the fortune cookie.
I'm not
May
worried
I-
about it. This is all on you.
May I look into my bag for the fortune cookie? Because
Yeah.
Serafina's like,
you-
I think
you do
I
you.
have it. I'm gonna look.
As long as the
Because
rat
I think
didn't
I
eat
do
it.
have it.
It's like
No, the
dust of
rat's
a
back
fortune
at the
cookie.
place. He liked his place. Do I have it? Did I find it?
I don't know. Did you? Is it in your bag? Did you put it in your inventory?
I think so. I didn't put it in
Look.
my inventory, but I think I wrote
This
it
isn't
down
a
in
roll
my
for it
old
thing.
book. It's in my old book that I can't find. I use this one now. But I'm like 80% sure I wrote down I took fortune cookie.
Okay. So you find the fortune cookie in your bag then. And
I'm gonna write down in my new book I have fortune cookie.
okay. You have
And
a
I
fortune
wanna-
cookie.
Give it to Gus. Be like, found it.
Just 1 second, I'm trying to see if I wrote it down.
This is giving me that like side headache thing going on.
I don't have anything. Okay. So I'm gonna take the fortune cookie that was in either mine or Jess's bag. Or Seraphina's bag.
Yeah. For mine, I just have notes that I found the book. I found the ledger, and then the dagger. So those are the two things that I picked up. That's what my diary says.
So if I break the fortune cookie to get the fortune, does it just like reassemble itself? Like what? I don't understand how she used the same fortune cookie every night.
Wait, give me a second. Oh. Okay.
I can't say anything.
Okay. I would like to cast Identify on the fortune cookie.
Cool. You cast Identify on a fortune cookie. Oops, I gotta pull it up now because I was trying to pull up all these different things, and now I finally get to pull it all up.
And while they are looking this up, for those who are listening and did not know, Identify, you choose one object that you must touch throughout the casting of the spell. If it's a magic item or some other magic imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them. Whether it acquires attunements, how many charges, all that information. There you go, listeners.
Okay. You know now that it is a magic fortune cookie, identical visually in every way to a normal fortune cookie with a golden brown exterior and a faint magical shimmer to those with mage sight. You also know that you can, as a bonus action, consume the paper within, and upon consumption, you will have a fortune revealed to you. A piece of advice, a warning, a humorous quip, and it will break open multiple times. Each time you consume the paper inside, it reassembles itself.
What happens if you eat the cookie?
That is a mystery that you would have to pursue.
Okay, so I share what I have learned, and I look at Gus and I go, for now, don't eat the cookie, but you can break the cookie and eat the thing inside.
No, don't.
I'm just saying you can, not that you have
Yes,
to.
yes. No, don't.
Why?
Because the doctor told us not to. Was I the only one paying attention to that part?
Oh, don't eat enchanted items. Right.
Oh, yeah!
Also, Vuric, you fucker. Also, but
I was so excited.
he's like,
I forgot.
are any of your friends home? We need someone to eat this.
I don't have friends. Oh, we could pay... What's his name? Hold on.
Are we at your house? I thought we were at your
You
house.
are awful.
I live for these moments, though. I have layered and layered and layered so heavily. And Jason almost had Gus eat the frickin' fortune cookies.
You're welcome. You're welcome, my love. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Because we
I'm gonna be like,
forgot.
thank you. I'm just gonna try to put it back in the cookie. And like reseal the cookie around.
It remains broken, but there is that piece of paper there, lingering and just waiting to be consumed.
Okay. I don't have friends who could eat it, but I know little children who, if you give candy to them, they would probably do it.
Extra, children dying left and right. Extra.
I mean,
I was wondering,
Otherwise, I can't
is
tell.
anyone in the house that could do it that was not?
I don't
Recovering.
know if it would. I don't know if it would work
I mean,
because it gives a fortune for them.
right. Well, does anyone want a free
Oh.
fortune? Because we can't eat this.
Well, we can't eat it right now, but we can wait a little bit, a couple days.
How long
I
did he
think.
say we can't eat for? Like the
He
magic
did not
imbued?
say.
He did not say.
Well, we
Well-
can check in when we check in on your father.
Yeah, we'll ask. Because maybe it's only like a 5-hour thing, you know,
We could
before
go make
you gotta
Sticky
go to the
Beak eat it.
doctor sometimes, and you're supposed to not eat for like 6 hours. Maybe it's just like that.
Maybe we should go to Sticky Beak and have him eat the fortune.
That's a great idea too.
That's an option.
I think that's a good idea. But we should also ask the doctor at some point how long for all that.
Well, let's go
because I
to the
definitely
hospital.
also just used magic, which we weren't supposed to do. Right?
If you experience symptoms, don't use magic.
Oh, symptoms.
We,
Luckily, I don't have symptoms yet.
Let's go
I
to
think.
the hospital, tell your mother about the job, ask the doctor the question, then go to Sticky Beak's office. Plan?
Plan.
Best plan ever.
So you head off to the hospital. Any particular things you're trying to find out there beyond talking to the doctor?
Yeah, I don't know. Do we want to roleplay all that out? Like, or maybe with
I
your
d-
mother?
I can tell you from my perspective, unless there's something you want to contribute to this moment, there's nothing new here. And the doctor gives you an indefinite response regarding the longevity of the symptoms or of the problem.
Indefinite, so can never eat another magical
Yes.
item ever.
Should not be consuming enchanted items.
Is this just like because of our sickness or just like general doctor suggestions? Like, oh, you should just lose weight kind of suggestion. Whereas, like,
felt that
yeah,
so
everyone
hard.
probably should, but like maybe it doesn't apply to this situation.
Roll a d20.
8.
It's probably fine. Just losing weight. No biggie.
Okay. Got it.
To Sticky Beak.
Worth an ask. To a sticky
Although I
beak.
guess, yeah,
Did you want to role play out with your mom on the job, or just tell her and then go?
Oh,
Up to you.
we should go tell her, right?
Yeah,
your mom.
I was gonna say you're gonna
That's-
tell her, but like unless there's
That's like
anything in
your
particular you
NPC,
want
so
to
if
add
you
to
wanna-
it,
Oh,
that.
it's just
no.
gonna be
Okay.
information
Tell her
sharing.
about the job. Yeah. Who to contact. There we go.
Okay.
To Sticky Beak.
You head down. There is the Brew University. You can go downstairs, the same passageway you went down before. Do you choose to join another tour group and then slip away again? Or
I think we're just gonna walk through and
walk right on in, go on down. You see a taste testing happening. It looks really interesting, but
Gus is gonna stop, taste a beer, go on.
oh, you taste a beer?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I will message you. You'll head on down. You're going down to Sticky Beak.
I'm cured and I can now drink enchanted items. Or something. Crap, there's an enchanted beer and I'm gonna die now.
Yep. It was nice knowing Gus.
Whatever. He's old. He
Shut
lived a
down
good
in his
life.
prime.
He had a full life.
You head on down and you go through the spaces to the open door, no longer collapsed tunnel,
Oh, very good.
and to Sticky Beak's
No more
office.
toilet entry.
No more stenchy entry. Sticky Beak is
Stench tree. No, I got it.
Sticky Beak is hard at work. It looks like there are several reports, all folded and creased in the way of which most of his messages are folded and creased. But Alua, you at a glance can see many of your brethren's handwriting on many of these different pieces.
I'm just gonna walk up to Sticky Beak and be like, "Eat this."
What?
Oh, wow.
Trust me.
He holds it. He
Sure.
looks at it. What?
I just
No.
want to see if he'll do it without explaining.
No.
It came from your friend's fortune cookie.
His eyes widen.
We can't eat it because we're not allowed to eat enchanted items.
Even as Gus says that, it's no longer in his hand, and his throat bobs underneath the feathers.
What you got?
Smoke billows out of Sticky Beak's throat. And you all see an illusion form. The scene that unfolds in front of you is in the bustling marketplace of Overton, known as the Whispering Bazaar. Midday sunlight glints off the cobblestones, and it's strange because you're seeing this in smoke, but wisps of shadow coalesce around this space, and these shadows solidify to your vision into a group of hooded figures that are making their way through this market. One figure, taller and broader than the others, raises a hand, and you see the cloak wisp away, revealing someone you killed on a rooftop. Another figure stands out and moves forward through the smoke, and it's another individual that you took care of. Another one stands out, and this one is working.
It's like a who's who of our murder book.
Yeah, it is. The first two are from your murder book. The next one who stands out is an individual that you couldn't catch, that had run into a house and then seemingly didn't emerge from it. The gambling manager that was running a gambling institution. They're working hard, and as they're working hard here, and there's various other figures that you may recognize or not recognize, tall, small, big, but the ones that stand out to you is this figure because you recognize it, and the individual who comes up behind them. It seems to be sometimes one person and sometimes two people, the shadows merging in and out, and you can see not their eyes, just their mouth, and you can see this grin twisting their lips. And just as you see this individual, you see the Batmaster taking a note from them and heading back to their workplace. And this individual, this figure, looks up, and then the smoke that made their illusion of this person stretches out and they fade up into the sky. I would love for you to check in, ask questions, use skills and abilities at this point, as you've all seen this.
I'd like to roll perception to try to identify any of the other people.
Yes.
Tanzanite. She's old. Seraphina just looks at the smoke where it was and goes, well, that certainly was a jocund occasion.
But
Sorry. I can't deal. What's your perception
I did
check,
it!
Gus?
dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Awesome. You see... actually, you make out... Oh boy, this is tough to go through and decide which ones to give you. You see the symbol that was on that badge from before that you later discovered belonged to members of that not wonderful temple and the assassins that were that whole situation. You see the chief of the watch, and you're able to make out
Corruption goes all the way to the top.
a few of the ascended, the ones that are more famous. I think with a dirty 20, the main individual that you made out, they look like a murderer that you put away a long time ago, early in your career, but young. And they're not exactly the same. Maybe the child of that murderer, but there were rumors that they were ascended and hadn't claimed it. And if this is indeed their kid, maybe you could find out more if you were able to interview the parent.
Okay.
Although they are imprisoned on the Hollow Council's grounds.
Okay.
I would have liked to have focused on the person that you could only see the mouth of to see if I recognize them in any way.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check. This is the same individual that Gus was trying to see, but you're looking strictly just at them, which may reveal different details.
I do want to ask, like, the chief of the watch, all these people, are they just in the marketplace, or are they all like in a group doing something together?
The way that the illusion is formed and the smoke of the illusion is formed, they're all somehow tied to, like it's almost like you're watching a smoky version of a, like when honestly, Sticky Beak had one of these up where the strings going in all these different directions. It's like a tree of relationship and
Okay.
so you get the sense from this, again, a fortune cookie, that it's possibly all interrelated. Sorry, Ulu, what did you get?
Who? Ula? 15.
15. Your attention was strictly on this individual and making them out. It's tripping up your brain. You have seen that face, the lower part of their face. You have seen this familiar human face, and those lips it's tripping you up because you've seen this person. You can't quite remember who, but it is somebody within the circle of folks you know.
Is there can I take like out a piece of paper or something and try to maybe sketch?
Yes. Go ahead and roll a performance check to see how well you'll capture that likeness.
12 performance. 18.
Yeah, you capture the likeness very well.
Yay!
I think Seraphina and Gus, you both can look at it and recognize this face. The lower half of the face is it's not enough to really figure out who the person is.
Can I do something while they're all doing something?
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to look at the like notes while they were looking at the smoke screen. See if more became clear from the bat note. From the
the
fortune
various notes
cookie.
that Alua had shared.
Because
So
we were trying to figure out, because it was sound based, so we were trying to.
Yeah, that reminds you of the singing. So you've already looked at this before, and that's where you got that it was sound based. What are you trying to understand now? How are you going about this? What are you doing?
Well, the whole reason we got the fortune cookie out was because of the singer and the things she didn't say. And now that we've used the fortune cookie, I was hoping to just see if something else became clear, clicked in my brain, or if not, that's fine. But I want hopefully using the thing that the singer used. That was.
So I'm not
singing.
asking you what you're trying to figure out. I'm asking you how you're trying to figure this out. How you're trying to figure out anything. What are you doing? What is Seraphina actively doing? Is she just staring at it? Is she casting a spell? Is she using her tinkering knowledge to try to do something? Is she...
I guess just looking at it. I mean, I don't... I guess just looking at it. I don't know.
So you've already done a perception check in this way, and that's not going to reveal anything new at this point. But is there something...
I mean, if someone wants to help me with suggestions on this, I know the whole reason we used the fortune cookie was because we were looking at this note. So I don't know if using the fortune cookie made us figure out how to decipher the note.
Could I take a look at it? I see Seraphina's got it out, and I haven't looked at it yet.
Okay.
Do I recognize the writing as like any sort of musical notation?
Go ahead and do an intelligence check.
That's probably not a lot. Nope, that's a whole 5.
It's hard to... I mean, there's musical notation, culture to culture, world to world, place to place. It's all different. I suppose I'm remembering music theory classes. It would be like trying to take the Western notation that I was originally at least trained on and grew to understand, and trying to compare that to one of the like Thai musical notations of ancient times, not of more modern interpretations and influence, but trying to figure out what to play from that.
Can I maybe just start like humming scales to see if anything happens when I reach a certain note?
It's a shot in the dark, and sure. Go ahead and roll. The DC is going up quite a bit because of the failed check already. But go ahead and roll. I think this will have to be. It's really just random chance. Roll a D100. We'll see what happens.
Oh God, I gotta dig that sucker out of the bag. Hang on.
The highest note. Just say no. So maybe you just have to sing the
I
highest
get a
note.
percentile.
Just bust out a high C, see what happens.
It's like the
42.
yeah. I mean, that's not great. in
It's
this
only the
context.
life, the universe, and everything. Whatever.
You don't seem to have any. You can't find a connection between musicality right now and this note. It's just a blind alleyway, it feels like at this point.
Sorry, I've got nothing.
I mean, I can't figure it out either. I just, we're trying to figure these out. So I was hoping more became clear, and it has not.
I'm gonna ask Sticky Beak if they.
Oh wait, sorry. Can I ask Sticky Beak something?
Go ahead.
Sticky Beak, can you cast spells at all?
Never really tried.
Oh, okay. Do you know anyone who can dispel magic?
There's a young kid that can.
Is it the really annoying one?
He looks at Seraphina.
I thought you meant the newsie. Seraphina,
No.
can you dispel magic?
He's confused,
No.
but he's not talking about Seraphina. But
Oh.
When you said annoying kid, he looked at Seraphina.
Is he talking about the little messenger?
He said annoying kid. I didn't say annoying kid. He said annoying kid.
Yeah, whatever. You said annoying kid. You said is it the annoying one, and he said he knows a young kid who can.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you mean annoying kid.
The one who yells out the news.
Oh no, it's
Okay.
our little messenger friend.
Oh. Can we?
Do you have a way to summon him here?
Yeah, he looks around and he finds a pile of the little origami paper that he's used for notes and notes for the messenger. Actually, this is their spell.
At
Hands
least you
you
won't get stuck.
few sheafs of the paper.
Hello, boy. Please come to Sticky Beak's office. We need your help. From sincerely, Gus. I'm going to
I
try
like that.
again.
From crossed out sincerely. Gus.
I'm going to fold it up. Let's see what we get this time. For the performance, you said?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. That's 12. A little better.
It's a little bit better. It almost looks like a creature. And as it flaps its wings much more successfully than the last one and flies off up to the top.
It's like Gus's paintings that almost look like a tree.
That green and brown blob, is that a the frequent
It's a hungry caterpillar.
yeah, and if
Sticky
you're waiting,
Beak, what do you feel from the first-hand experience of the fortune? Anything to add?
he opens his eyes and he's it always added a flair to her performances, but I still don't get it. What did you all see? I saw
Marketplace.
Marketplace.
Did you not see a marketplace?
No,
What did
Oh,
you
what did you see?
saw an old friend.
Did you see the nightingale?
Let's leave it where it is. Into the work.
Well, if as you, I'll just say, as you think about this, if she told you anything of use to the case, just please let us know.
I hold up my sketch and I go, "Do you recognize this mouth?"
He looks at you. His roll is crap. No.
Okay.
Just thinking that we have this fortune cookie now that none of us can ever eat. So all we could do is just walk around sticking the thing in other people's mouths and like, hey, eat this. What'd you see?
All right. So I think while we wait for the messenger, I'm going to go through some things Sticky Beak shares with you, and we'll probably close there and do our next session to close out this little mini arc. But
Okay.
Sticky Beak's data collection, what has happened? He's found out that the weave-worn exposure that you suffered is probably a serious problem throughout the whole city because those materials were used and created by a factory for a long time and used in almost all housing in the city. So this is kind of like lead paint. And it is going to be a serious ongoing issue that needs to be constantly worked on, and it's much bigger than one small crew can really truly hit. But he was able to make sure that the folks in that neighborhood are receiving proper treatment, and has set up some actually connected with a certain lawyer and is working towards getting some action taken, but who knows how that's going to go. And a lot of the corruption in the city may be at play with that. He also sent a crew out to the wreckage of your house, Serafina, and has
Hope they wore masks.
evidence that there may be some further secrets of that building. Your father's renovations when you were too young to remember, Serafina, show evidence of going underground. And there were even possibly some traces that may relate to your brother. He also found through some of his healing connections and the Comshare's healing connections that there might be some temporary solutions or permanent cures through rituals or enchanted items, not that you would consume, but that you would wear for the sick, for the weave-worn sickness. He also found a bit of information that relates to one of the ascended, one of the younger ascended folk being involved in the temple that had been selling the wyvern poison. So you do have a name, and that name is Edelman. Edelman. The ascended known as Edelman was the causation of that temple to occur and to be there. The fake cure issue, there was snake oil was being basically provided. That drug was being treated like snake oil. It was being provided to a lot of people. And there is a little bit of an indication that maybe the drug can be harnessed by a powerful mage to drain it. Not just it's draining people's magic through the drug itself, but that could be pooled and stored. So that there might be some additional piece with magic being woven out of their bodies to be used somewhere else. There's also, related to that, concern about old magic trafficking where people were used as magical batteries, and that might be still occurring. There's been some information come to light that several people have been abducted, not unlike Seraphina's brother, but for various reasons, and a few corpses have been found completely drained of magic, like in the old days when people were being utilized in this way. There are several indicators that while there seems to be a lot of enemies and individuals involved in all of this, clues are pointing to there being a central figure behind both Grand's death, the situation at the Ascended Temple, and several other catastrophes that have recently been inflicted upon the city. It looks like somebody's orchestrating this because too many things keep pointing to the same individuals.
In my notes, I keep writing the bad temple.
The bad temple.
Me too.
Thank you all very much for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful time and enjoying your times with us. That was backwards. Bye.
Okay, like, listen, subscribe. Okay, bye.
Like, subscribe, that stuff. Yes.